Joya ISD community, and welcome to this edition of the Newsroom. This month, we're celebrating career and technical education, a month dedicated to bring awareness and celebrate the value of career and technical education. In this edition, we'll feature our La Joya ISD Career and Technical Education to inform you how we provide students with the academic and technical skills, knowledge, and training necessary to succeed in future careers. To talk about this topic, we have our Career and Technical Education Director, Mr. Jorge Flores. First of all, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for the invite, appreciate it.
First, Mr. Flores, what is the Career and Technical Education?
The Career and Technical Education program is a program that focuses on students so they can develop their skills necessary for the workforce. We offer a total of 25 programs of study that are CTE based in our district, and these courses are designed at least with 4 courses that start from the freshman level all the way to the senior, and we also have middle school courses, but they're designed to develop those skills that will be needed in the workforce in the areas of engineering and other like welding as well.
What are some of the clusters and certifications we offered here in our district?
One of the most popular ones is the area of welding. It happens to be one of the most popular in all our high schools and is very, very popular with our students. We get 2 certifications that we offer our students in that area. One is the AWS certification and also the NCCER certification. With these certifications, the students can go into the workforce and properly weld 2 objects together and make sure that those objects do not come apart. One of the things they learn in the classroom is when they put the bead, as they call it, or the weld bead, is that these 2 items are stress test or impact and things of that nature. And so they put them through a stress test to make sure that those beads can hold those 2 objects together. So they learn those things. In the area of automotive, for example, students learn about suspension and steering, and so they get certified in those areas as well. So when the student goes into the workforce, they can properly, align a vehicle and work with the suspension component so that your vehicle steers in the right direction and doesn't go off track in expressway or in roads, for example.
And all of this careers start at the freshman level. When do students start taking these courses?
Most of our programs of study start at the freshman level. We do have some course offerings at the middle school level, but most of these courses will start at the high school in some of these specialized areas.
I know we also have something in healthcare. Mention a little bit of the healthcare.
Of course. Yes, we do have our healthcare, and that we offer at almost every one of our high schools. And what that does is it enables the students to learn about phlebotomy as an example. So when our students gain that skill, they can go into the workforce drawing blood and things, with the puncturing and so forth, and they become, very fluent with these skills. So they learn about that. One of the more recent programs that we developed is a pharmacy tech. So we've been able to certify students with pharmacy tech as well. So we're fresh out of high school, and we have several success stories where students have graduated and have been working for some of these pharmacies locally and earning a pretty good wage in one of our cases, one of our students, because of the pharmacy tech plus their certification for the COVID administration. These individuals are earning upwards of $15, $16 an hour fresh out of high school. So they've got good success out there. We also offer medical assistant, and in some cases also our patient care program through a third party that we also offer and help our students become successful after high school.
So our students have the opportunity during high school to get in these classes, get the certifications, and right after high school they will be able to go into the workforce.
Definitely, yes, correct. That is correct. And so our students get prepared, they get certified while being in our high schools. And then once they go into the workforce, they're ready for the workforce once they get these certificates.
Now, what are some of the skills that our students are gaining by being part of career and technical education?
They vary. One of the biggest things that our students learn when they're in our program and as part of the skill set is, for example, using the right tool. And I say that because, yes, there are very cheap items in the market that the student may not never really see once they get out of high school. So we at La Joya ISD and with our CTE program, we specialize, or we want to make sure that our students are exposed to the industry equipment. And that industry equipment requires specific skills. For example, they have to be able to read the particular amount of torque being applied through one of those wrenches. So they have to be, there's a lot of mathematical concepts behind it, and our students are exposed to all those items. So when they realize that, they get to understand what 50 pound-feet of torque might be, and they're able to look at that through the torque wrench and understand what that reading is. So there's a lot of mathematical components behind it that our students are exposed to. And then, of course, when it comes into the area of health science, well, then they have to be able to learn how to be able to find the veins and to be able to do their phlebotomy behind it. And then in the area of business, as an example, and I'm just being over, general here because, like I said, there's a lot of skills that our students can learn. But in the area, for example, of business, our students are able to learn about, Microsoft Office products, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and embed these skills, to learn all the commands and see, what Control A does and a lot of these other functions that are in the keyboard, and they learn that. In our area of engineering, for example, in AutoCAD, students get to work with particular software like AutoCAD or SolidWorks, and they're able to work within that software and create 3D objects for the CNC machine. These are very, very highly praised skills that our students get while being in our program at La Joya ISD.
Definitely helping them for a career. Also, I know this is also free for our students because I know we also have cosmetology where they're. Tell us a little bit about cosmetology.
Of course, definitely. Yes, our programs are free of charge. We try to cover the entire cost of our program so that the students get the best education for free. And in some cases, like in the cosmetology program, outside of the high school, students can expect to pay upwards of $20,000 for the cosmetology program. And we offer that for free to our students. Very popular program, and yes, completely free of charge.
So our students here have the opportunity, if they want to go into cosmetology, they can come out certified, welding, anything that our students pretty much like, they can pretty much, there's a career for them.
That's correct, yes.
Now, Mr. Flores, how does the CTE program prepare our students for those high-end, high-demand careers?
So our program in CTE, we work with a particular grant called the Perkins Grant, and part of that requirement is for us to evaluate our programs of study. And so when we look at our programs of study, it must lead into a career that is high demand, that is a high wage and a high skill occupation. And so we're required to do that under our Perkins application. So what that means is that in the state of Texas, the definition of in demand is 17% or more growth. And so we have to look at those programs of study and analyze what they go into, and we want to make sure that they go into one of those careers or occupations that has at least 17% growth or more. That is one. The other item, when it comes to high wage, the definition is we're looking at about $35,339. And so any occupation that goes past that amount is considered a high wage occupation. So when we look at our application with Perkins, which outlines our CTE program, we make sure that our programs of study are already aligned to those careers that have those items in place, as well as obviously being a high skill occupation.
Now, what are some of the opportunities that the students are going to get that will pretty much help them once they go into college?
There's three major things that I look at it when we come to that question. One of them is the fact that our students get their education here for free. And that obviously has a lot of value towards our post-secondary education, especially when a student's in engineering, gets a SolidWorks certification. That is something that looks very, very good on the transcript. It's a skill set that they already have if they want to continue pursuing a college education when it comes to engineering or wherever the SolidWorks may apply. One of the other items that I also like to tell the community and our students is that we have options with dual credit, where our students are able to continue or grab an education certificate. We've graduated students from our district with South Texas College in the Architectural Design Technology. Architectural Design Technology certificate from STC. And so with that certificate, the students can continue, obviously, because it's a stackable option. So students go from the high school to certificate, and they can continue that as they move forward and get an associate's degree or continue on their education when it comes to that. So that's another item that I like to tell our students, that we have within our program. And of course, free of charge. We don't charge our students for those. In fact, quite the opposite. We want to make sure our students have access to our programs in CTE in our district. So that's our approach when it comes to CTE.
Now, one of the main opportunities for our students is that they get to go right into a career right after high school. So they get to continue if they want to pursue a college degree and they're already working in their career. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, I'll use the educational program as an example. We have a program of study, teaching and training, and through that program of study, our students can get an educational aid certificate. We also do, through Region 1, we make sure that our students have a certificate for the substitute training. So these students, when they graduate from high school, they can actually go into the teaching field as a substitute teacher if they would like, because they can choose their days, and it's beneficial for them because they're substituting, and at the same time they're able to go to school and be able to choose which days to work and which to go to college. So that's one option. They can also go in the area of educational aid and already get hired by a school district as an educational aid. So these students are in the classroom learning about the art of teaching and being, and I've seen this actually firsthand, where our students go into other classrooms to deliver lessons in mathematics and other concepts or other subjects under the supervision of the teacher, of course. And so they're gaining these skills, they're learning how to deliver a lesson, and this is while they're in high school, by the way. So they're learning to deliver a lesson and go through the whole lesson delivery cycle. And as they do that, they pick up on all the skills that our teachers currently do on a daily basis. Then, as our students graduate from high school, they have obviously their substitute certificate, and then they also have that certification, educational aid, and they can work with either, like I said, as a substitute teacher, while pursuing their bachelor's degree or whatever else they want to pursue, and become a teacher themselves or some type of, in the education field. So that's one option that we have, or one item that we consider greatly. And of course, we can also look at the clusters being in the same fashion as well.
Now, Mr. Flores, which are the top 4 CTA courses that the students are selecting here?
Well, we look at more from the programs of study, but one of them is welding. That one is very, very popular, our welding program that we have. Again, very popular in all our comprehensive high schools. So that's a very popular program. Also, engineering is a very popular program as well. And that particular program, again, in all campuses, and we also have a dual credit component attached to it. We also have a dual credit component attached to welding as well. So those two are extremely popular. We also have, in the area of health science, that's also a very popular program or program of study. And students can go in various directions with the health science. They could go phlebotomy, medical assistant, PCT, pharmacy tech. And so they have options when it comes to that. Those certifications, pharmacy tech is fairly new to us. We're working with it, but we're building up those numbers. And then, of course, in the other areas, we do have a good substantial number of medical assistants, PCTs, and phlebotomists as well. We also have, it's kind of a mix in some of the other programs, but we also have the area of business, tends to be quite popular as well. And we do have quite a bit of certifications in the area of Excel, Office with Word, Excel, and then the Microsoft Office, the master, as they call it. And because the student masters various programs in Microsoft Office and therefore gets the title of Microsoft or the what they call the MOS Master. Also, our cosmetology program is very popular. We offer it at our comprehensive high schools, and our students are able to go in there and meet the state requirements for the number of hours, and they're also able to get certified under the cosmetology operator license. Through this umbrella of a license, students can do a various number of items when it comes to cosmetology, hair, and things of that nature. And so the students are able to save quite a bit of money when it comes to that particular certification or program, because that program will run a little bit over $20,000 outside of high school. And so our parents get that for free. So our students are able to participate in that program and get their skills, get their certifications, and then join the workforce right after high school, and again, saving upwards of $20,000. Those tend to be very, very popular programs in our district.
We're definitely providing all these career opportunities for our students.
Of course, definitely. The availability that we have, we have a pretty solid CTE program. We do a very solid CTE program in comparison to any other school district around the area. And of course, I'm from La Joya, so I'm a La Joya graduate, so for me, La Joya is La Joya, right? But we do strive our very best to offer as many opportunities as we can to our students. I don't know how many people can actually say that, right, where they really, that's their main effort to provide those opportunities for our kids, because in La Joya, we do. We try to, like I said earlier, in CTE, there is a lot of items to consider, like work-based or wage earning experience. So our teachers have to have had experience in that particular field, and that makes them the experts. So a lot of the times that is a good thing and a bad thing, right? In the sense that it's good because we have an expert in the classroom where we can get them, but sometimes that causes a bit of an issue where we may not be able to find somebody to teach a particular course. And that's where we partner up with our institution of higher ed. So even if we do not offer something locally and our student wants it, we'll find a way to have our student receive that education. But we do strive in providing the students the opportunity to the highest extent possible that we can. And if we cannot offer it locally, we'll find a way with our institution of higher ed.
Now, if parents have any questions or students, where can they find, all the career paths, all this information about career and technical education?
At every high school, we have our CTE counselor that's available there for particular questions if need be. We also encourage our staff, our parents and students to keep a very close communication with the teachers. They're the best source of information when it comes to the particular pathways. And of course, we can at any point in time contact my office and we'll make every effort to explain to parents. The reason why I mentioned the teachers is because in CTE, our teachers most of our teachers have to have a wage earning background. So when it comes to a particular program of study, the person that can best answer any questions a teacher may have or a parent may have is a teacher because they're the experts within that field. We can certainly talk about opportunities, things that we offer at our district, but we have had particular questions that are very specific to that program of study, and that's why we highly encourage communication with a teacher because, again, they're the experts within that field. But we do have a CTE counselor at each campus. We also have, in particular campus, we also have an administrator that takes care of CTE. And they can reach out to these individuals as well. And of course, to my office, we can also make ourselves available for any questions our parents may have and anything we can do to further promote our program.
Perfect. Well, thank you for providing all this information. And if our parents or students have any questions about our CTE, you could always reach out to your counselor or to any teacher. Anything else you would like to add, Mr. Flores?
I would like to thank the students for giving us the opportunity to serve them. I'd also like to thank our parents for trusting us with their child's education. I also want to trust our administrative team for all the support, but most importantly, our teachers. I would like to thank our teachers because they are the ones who are in the classroom, they're helping our students, and they've taken that vow to bring our students to the next level. So again, thank you all, and I cannot thank them enough.
Well, thank you, Mr. Flores, for providing all this information, and a big thank you to all our dedicated CTE teachers and staff for always supporting our students. To our viewers, thank you for joining us in this edition of the Newsroom. And remember to stay up to date with all of our district news. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. Till next time.